Good evening, everybody. I have an image of Tim Bergling Avicii up on the screen. I was asked to do a reading about him, and I really know I'm not real familiar with him at all, but the energy will tell the story. And I do have my new microphone hooked up, so I'm looking forward to testing that out, and hopefully the voice will be a whole lot better. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Tim's reading. Okay, so he's a man, a young man that was had a lot of workings in him that were not known to others. He workings, what is meant by that is more whatever he harbored in there in terms of his feelings, his ideas, his drives, his desires. Okay, so that's what that means. There was just a lot of that inside of him. And I see a journal like as if he was one that maybe was in feeling, had questions about life. I can see some question marks on him, like he wondered a lot about things, about life and death, about deeper things, as let's see, yes. So he wondered about it. He was not able to always examine this in himself. He wasn't always able to it's going like this, like there wasn't always someone else there that he could share these views with, that could give him that could shed some light on it for him. And it was a struggle in his being, these ways he had inside of himself. So he was always looking, in a way searching, but not. It turned out that a lot of that ended up being very darkened by certain health issues, by problems, by living the life of someone that's famous that would drink and do intoxicants. So some of what he had in him, these deeper feelings, got covered over, or not able to really come to the surface in a way where he could actually seek out some clarity for himself. A lot of it was just covered by just, these habitual ways that were unhealthy in terms of drinking, partying, and social life. Okay, so in terms of his passing, let's see what we have here. Okay, so the pendulum is laying down. He did pass suicide, or I'm just seeing a clock in my mind, like his time had run out with whatever ways he had. It caught up to him that's really what I'm feeling. Things just caught up to him. And his time had run out in this body, in this life that he had. Okay, so he's in some ways, what I'm feeling like, he could have potentially been a mystic type of man, which I've gone through before, which means, he could have been, while he was in this body. Let's see where he is at now, which means a seeker of deeper truths. And again, like I say, that got cut off and masked and darkened by other energies that he was involved in, or even that, that's really what I'm feeling. And he's a thinker. He's a thinker. It's showing, and again, in terms of his transitioning, he's a, I do feel he's got some spiritual sense in there. It's still heavy, so you can still feel this heaviness, like it hasn't been able to lift and come to fruition at all. But it's in him like like a wrapped up coil, that could unwind it if given the right conditions, and if he actually took care of himself, had led a healthier life, was on a healthier path. And it is heavy to lift up, so it is just showing that all those are in there, and I do see little seeds in there, like potentialities for Tim. He could come to that if he if he started clearing out these ways, these habits. But it's not happening yet. I mean, those seeds have not flowered yet for him. Okay, he still is. He's still. Not. I'm just hearing not healthy fully in himself. With some energy that's cycling through him that is not giving him the best health, the best mental outlook, the best clarity. And so he is still in this space of wanting to know a lot of things and yet not able to penetrate whatever world that he is living in right now, not able to come to there's just, to let forces in that are more of light, that can bring about and actually water those seeds, help to water those seeds of this deep seeking mystic type of energy he has in him, that allow them to flower. He looks at it, he touches the flower, and it turns to a darker look only because he's wanting, he's driven. Again, I see a car. He's driven by these other energies that have overtaken him or are stronger in terms of these, unhealth, or things that aren't so healthy in there, or whatever he left with truly is still there and needing to be cleared. So let's see, in terms of Tim and in terms of hope in the future for him. Okay, so he does have something of knowledge, and there's something of potential. Like I said, future for it to bloom. Is this a possibility for Tim? Let's ask the pendulum. And it is showing a yes, and then it's kind of going back and forth, like his way, or I'm feeling third eye, or whatever light that needs to come in and clear certain mentalities or ways he had just needs to take place. There is hope, of course. There's always hope, and he does have connections in himself. He's got these connections that are there, that he feels like he's still connected with certain realities, certain beings. He feels connected to them, like kind of different worlds or something. It's hard to completely get what that's about. Let's see if that's helpful for him. Okay, in some ways it's not really helping him, because he has not been able to allow a lot of energies to flow in his direction. He's trying to reach outward, but in terms of allowing a lot of energies to flow into him, that's been a struggle for Tim. Which means he needs to let go. And I think with this young man, what it's like with him is he just wants to know all the answers without fully putting his feet on a path that he needs to really let go and allow and open up. It doesn't mean he's a very decent person inside, but he just wants to know everything and is keeping himself twisted in knots around this, okay? So that's really what I'm feeling with Tim. There is hope. There's these mystic seeds in him that if watered could really bloom, and he could, be, and you can see the natural. This was something that was just intuitively chosen for his energy, as, he could really get absorbed in that. And we just hope that all these energies, good and clear and crystal clear waters and all sorts of things, flow into him, so that some of that writing that he's left with, that journal of whatever life he led, can start to be rinsed clean and he can open up. Okay, there is hope, and we will hope that he moves forward and he does, he really starts walking a path that is more beneficial for him. So these potentials, the potential seeds of spirituality he has in him, and of light and of beauty and of harmony, can fully flower. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.